Baba. Yeah. Digital gold shining bright in my eye. The future is here, we don't need to ask why. Spinning blocks on the chain while the digits fly. Stacking up high, reaching for the blue sky. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, everybody wants in. Riding the wave, it's a digital win. Bitcoin, let the party begin. Got the keys to the vault, let the future spin. Zeros and ones got me feeling alive. Crypto buzzing, we're on overdrive. From the screen to the dream, watch it all thrive. Breaking down the walls, we're ready to arrive.
All right, I'm just trying to wait to see if we get some more people here. I had to use the same thumbnail, didn't have time to change it. So I just got through streaming, and I thought I was live with everything that I was talking about, and it wasn't. Yeah, some little glitch I've got going on. And I kept seeing that nobody was in the stream. Nobody was in the stream. I was like, wow, what's happening? Let me make sure that this one is taking traction. It looks like we're up and running here. I just need some action in the chat just to make sure we got people. When I see some people here, we'll go ahead and put it over and start the stream here. Some people may see the thumbnail and, yeah, that's the old one. That's not that one didn't work. I see 2 people and one of them's me, so that's only 3 people.
Rolling through the matrix faster than light.
Makes me wonder if I need to change my thumbnail. Maybe. Let me see if I can take care of that real quick.
Bitcoin, Bitcoin, everybody wants in. Riding the wave, it's a digital win. Bitcoin, let the party begin. Got the keys to the vault, let the future
Changed it. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Oh, we got 5 people in here. Okay, we're getting a little something. It's a conspiracy by Big Cup and Handle. They're trying to shut you down, man. That's what I've been thinking. That's what the voices in my head's been telling me too. All right, I think we got 5 people, counting me. All right, let's see if we can go ahead and get this party started without waiting too long. It is 3:33. The 333s have said it all.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
Welcome to take 2. Maybe this time we'll get it straight. I think we got 5 people. It looks like we got people here. Okay, so what's going on in the market, man? It looks like things were looking good, and then all of a sudden they wasn't. Seen gurus get wrecked, but they're not going to talk about it because they're too embarrassed. And I want to talk about what happened there because there's a lesson to be learned with something that I saw today. And I'm not going to be nasty, but we're talking about the legitimate reasons why that was a dangerous thing. And some of you may know about it, some of you may not, and that's fine. If you don't know about it, you're not missing anything, trust me. But here we are, we're looking at rejection for altcoins. We talked about this on last night's stream, about this Fibonacci area here, where we probably get some rejection. Some people probably taking profits. Therefore, it is probably a good idea to consider taking profits yourself a little bit if you're up on some of these altcoins, because we might get a little bit of a pullback. More likely we will. Hopefully, maybe we'll catch here, but it's more likely that we'll come back down here and touch this 200 moving average. I'm here on the 6-hour time frame, which is a good time frame, especially when you're using these little indicators like RSI to nail these little bottoms. It does it very well. It's a cleaner time frame. I like it. We're testing the 9 moving average here. We haven't lost it yet, but chances are that we might lose that little guy, or at least come down here to retest. We got some kind of little makeshift trend line. It's not the greatest here on this time frame. Now that's a little bit better, and it opens up a little gap that we could come down to, and this falls within it. Definitely does. So basically, altcoins might be pulling back here. Now, what I was talking about early on the stream is how the market makers or the market is acting right now, because it's doing something a little different. Okay, and I spelled this out, and I think it's worth spelling out again. Now, today is Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. It's hump day, right? And let's just go back over here. This was Wednesday last week, and what happened? They started switching. This is normally what we would see on the weekend. It's what I feel. I feel like the market makers are taking their weekend game and starting to apply it midweek, and I feel like they're trying to entice they're trying to start pumping up the weekends, which is not authentic price action, to try to entice retail in on the weekends, because when retail starts coming in on the weekends, that's when we make our money. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. When you start seeing crazy runs on the weekend, and it's authentic, not market makers, but you actually got retail and everybody's all, crypto's talking about everywhere and all this other stuff, that's when we definitely want to be taking profits and things like that. In my personal opinion, I think the market makers are trying to induce that, because that's what they do. They're really good at manipulating emotions just by what they do with price actions. It's genius. The bots and software that they have, especially now with AI, it's just going to keep getting better, I believe, to induce all that. But now we're starting to see them do things like on Wednesday, start dumping and take us in to Thursday. And then on the weekend, they started getting us all enticed, and that was good. Of course, retail is probably too scared to get in around here at these lows after that crash. Here is this is a Wednesday or Tuesday right here. We came up on a Wednesday, pumped up, and then after that Wednesday, we came down until Friday. Went a little sideways, and then by Monday they started coming up. To that Wednesday they dumped us again. If you see a little pattern that's been happening in the past few weeks, is that when it comes to Wednesdays, except this one when they pumped us, was that 2 weeks ago? So we went 2 weeks on with Wednesday pumps. This was a Wednesday pump, this was a Wednesday pump, this was a Wednesday dump, this was a Wednesday dump, and this is looking like it is also going to be a Wednesday dump. What did we get over here? Was this a Wednesday? This was a Wednesday pump. Do you see how that worked? Do you see the pattern that's going on here? Wednesday pump, Wednesday pump, Wednesday pump. This was a Monday even, but pumping through Wednesday here too. And then we started Wednesday dump, Wednesday dump. Possible another Wednesday dump during this month so far. Starting, pretty much. I just find that kind of, and this was a Wednesday dump. So it is a Wednesday pump on this week, and then they started the Wednesday dump over here. That was actually May 14th. And then another Wednesday. It's switching up a little bit. It's switching up just a little bit. There's some subtle changes going on there. Anyway, pull back on altcoins, and if you thought that you didn't have a good position in altcoins and you felt like chasing, well, now they're going to try to make you feel bad. Hopefully you weren't chasing too bad if you were chasing at all, but the time to chase will be after it touches a bottom here. And then I do believe that this next pullback would be a good one to start stocking up on your altcoins there and make sure that you got your bags, fairly suitably packed for what you're trying to do. We still got some other things to clear, but altcoins did break out of this. Coming back to retest this area over here. Quite normal, and that is right where we got our 862. Coming back to retest the breakout area right down here, even a little lower, 853 billion. I mean, that's on the table. That can happen, and that would be a juicy price. However, we got a trend line going on here that might save us, or maybe we break down that falling wedge and come down. Altcoins are going to get cheaper, okay? They will get cheaper. They always do. One thing we probably need to keep an eye on is Bitcoin dominance. That's always great. Now, this one, she's got rejected at the box of rejection, and she finally made a lower low, so this is looking good. Now, a lot of people are out here calling for altcoin season. I am not calling for altcoin season. We don't have confirmation that we have altcoin season, but we do have an altcoin rally that we need to take advantage of. Altcoin season would be this little sucker going from 60-something% all the way down to like 30-something% down here, and or 50%. It would be amazing. This one is too damn strong to do that. Every moving average on here is too damn strong for that to even happen. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you, this is not altcoin season. It's not. Maybe it can turn into it, but it's got a lot of bearish stuff that's got to happen here, and it's not happened yet. But in a rally, if we can get our minds wrapped around that and still saying, "Oh, it's all go all in, go all in," but we will get a nice pump, and we want to take advantage of that because we can make some money on this. So I don't want to delude anybody to thinking it's altcoin season just yet, because it's not. But we do get altcoin rallies. This was a nice one. This was a really nice one back there. Remember in December? Maybe we get something a little bigger. The bottom of the channel is still testing this 618 Fibonacci that we broke out of. Is most likely what we're going to do is just come right back down to there if we're lucky enough to. I hope we can. That will make numbers go back up, make them spot bags look a lot better, and can take some profit and get ready for the next pullback that comes as Bitcoin dominance starts coming back up from there. Is what we're hoping for. Don't know if it's going to happen or not. Right now I got 11 people. Let me give a shout out to everybody, and my apologies for the last stream did not work out. I don't know, boomer stuff. This is my take 2. Bullish on parade first here. We got no clapping hands going on. Got to do it manually. There we go. We got Dylan VA. How's it going, Dylan? Dave P. Good to see you, Dave. We got Sin and Sicario. I think on Sunday night stream you actually said we would have a dump day on hump day. I don't think it wasn't a call, but it was a probability, yeah, because the Wednesdays they've been doing some stuff. I've been seeing some signs in the charts that we might get a pullback. And I don't know. I mean, the possibility may be coming back to 100,000. I'm not trying to throw that out there, scare you, but we could be pulling back, and that would be great. If it happens, it's great. If it doesn't happen, it's still good. At some point, we will get the correction we need that we can really, really load up, especially on Bitcoin. So if your position in Bitcoin is not satisfactory right now, and you're kind of all you can do is plan ahead for it. Okay, all you can do is plan ahead for it, and be ready with the dry powder for when it does. We will get a big ass drop that comes. We drop 20-30% when we do corrections on Bitcoin. And think about that. If you're at 130,000 Bitcoin, 30% of that, well, you're dropping back to about 100,000. If you're at 100,000, we're dropping, we could drop back as far as 70, 75, 80,000. I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if you're prepared for those ranges, I mean, you got a better chance, because it does happen every cycle. We get some huge pullbacks, and it's normal. It's normal. It recovers. We just had the 70 and just had the most amazing recovery. It shocked me. I mean, I'm like, you just took off without me, bitch. I was trying to buy you at 88,000 and you never came back. And that can happen too. It sucks when it does. Because I was just being a little too conservative. Hey. Poo-poo happens, you know what I'm saying? But now I am all set, baby, for any dips that you get out of Bitcoin. Build that bag back up. All right, so let me talk about what I was trying to bring home. And the reason for my title of this particular stream is to tell you about the biggest thing that can separate you from your money. The biggest thing that can help you blow your account, make bad decisions. And apparently it's a hard thing to fix for some people. But it has to do with psychology. And even the psychology experts out there still miss it themselves. It's just easy. It's hard for us to look at ourselves and see things. That's part of being human. It's hard for us to see our own mistakes, and we got to realize that, because we can look at ourselves and think that we're doing just everything perfect, or maybe we know we might make a little mistake, but it's nothing. We're good because it's me. Ego. Psychology, your emotions. Ego falls into that emotion category, and I think some gurus out here don't realize that just yet. But when you get into ego, when you get into emotion, it changes your thinking, and not in a good way. Okay, it's kind of like when you're fearful. You have a tendency to make stupid decisions when you're fearful because you're emotional. You do the wrong things. You sell bottoms when you're fearful. You buy tops when you're FOMO, when you're all excited in your emotions, overconfident, or maybe some recent gains that you made, and yeah, we got this. But let me show you this trade that happened today, and I thought this was interesting. I happened to be watching this guru's channel today, and it's hard to watch because, well, here's what happened. They were putting this trade set up, a huge one, right? The entry position on this was 110, 197. Okay, let's come to a Bitcoin chart here, and let's just look and see if we can figure out what the hell was your thought process here, Mister. What are you thinking? Why would you go put almost all of your account in on this one trade at the very top? And that's a mystery I've got to figure out. I'm sorry, so I've got to find a little trade over here, or a little setup. This was now, to be honest, I can't remember. They usually look at the 1 minute, and I believe I can see what they did on the 1 minute. Oh man, I gotta zoom out just so we can get in the right area. So what the entry was, the entry was 110, 197. So 110, I'll get 187. That's close enough. Give them a little wiggle room there. So that was the big entry. And if you look at this now, this person notoriously, I mean, you look at this, and this person notoriously chases flags to the upside, and it's you can, and we've been, you can say we make flags on some of these things, but not every flag works out. If you're looking at this as a flag to the upside, you're disappointed. If you're looking at this as a cup and handle or whatever, you're probably disappointed, right? And no different from over here. But immediately thinking that everything's just going to flag out and go to the upside with some crazy thing, or even worse, the real thing that I see this person do, they always consult bookmap, okay, and then their targets mysteriously always go to wherever the bookmap target is. That's just how it happens. So you had something like this going on the 1 minute, and I assume that that's where the entry came from. But here's the thing, for this person, the whole time that they were going through this, is this it? Make sure I got the right one here. I'm sorry, it was not that one. It was over here. That was the first one. I got ahead of myself. It was this one right over here. We're on the 15 minute, so it's this one right here. Yeah. So here we are now. And 197. So that was the entry right here, or that was the same line I've got there. And so if you're looking at this on the 1 minute, I mean, I don't know. Is it price touch the 21? Is that your signal? But for someone, I mean, what was going on is the person was talking about how great they are, all the gains that they're making, and how much gains, why you should be in their trading group because they've got 20 years experience. Who are you going to believe? Somebody that's just knew all this, or somebody that's actually got 20 years experience and can show you how they've done it, made millions trading Bitcoin, which is, if you consider, the 2,000 people or plus people they got in their trading group giving them $100 a month, I think you can see where the money really comes from. And then I think you can watch by watching the accounts where they also add in $10,000, here and there to double it and never show you a trade that actually doubled it. That might give you some insight. They never show you exactly, where they added money to an account, show you deposits or withdrawals. Never show you that, do they? But that count, after people bitched about it never growing, suddenly grew up and doubled, but there was nothing to show to get it there. I'm just trying to give you some realistic things from what you can see on YouTube that might be misinterpreted or explained to you as something different. But there's a lot of signs here saying, man, we're at resistance. Even if you look back over here and zoom out, which is what you should do, zoom out and then zoom in to execute. You can do that. Maybe that's what he was trying to do. But if he had zoomed out, I don't think he did. He could have seen that we were at some areas, man, where we got our asses kicked before, right here. And now on this particular chart, it didn't come up and touch it. Now on a lot of the other ones I'm looking at, it actually came up there. It's like it did a double top. Just either way, it could not get past this area here. Now, for me, you need a trigger, but all you see with this guru is I'm in. And like, why are you in? Did it break a level? Did it break a trend line? What triggered you to get in? I'm just in. It's a flag. It's going to the upside. And even if you were zoomed out and you were looking at this, and maybe, I mean, we could make an argument for that, and I'm sure maybe they even put this out. I don't know. I don't stick around and watch this, but okay. And this flag to the upside idea on the 5 minute, bigger, not the tiny one, but this one. Okay, so you've got a trade set up, a flag right at resistance, man, and got no trigger or anything to tell you, no breakout, no confirmation. It's just, you know this could be the top, or you should know this could be the top. And the thing is that when it did break up just a little bit, all you saw on that was collapse. Who's in this trade with me? Who took it? I can show you how to make million. I can show you how to do it. I can give you all this. Join my group. Give me 90. That's what you hear. And then something happened. So they had the trade set up. Their stop loss, get this. Their stop loss is 108,600 something. They got stopped out, or the trade got stopped out. Now, most likely, if you watch this person, if you know who I'm talking about, they probably bailed over here, but that was a risky ass trade. This was a huge ass trade to take such a risk. If you're the teacher, the guru, and you're always, if it went up, you wouldn't say, who took this trade with me? Yeah, it's because we know what we're doing. Yeah. But it didn't. And it didn't because he didn't zoom out. It didn't because he didn't do his homework. It didn't work out because he got into his ego, into bragging about himself, talking more about himself, what he owns, this, that, Rolexes, all the money, this and that. Well, I can do this, showing off new toys, all this. It's ego, and that will screw you up. It screwed him up. He doesn't realize it yet, but it's a constant thing that you can spot the things in other traders, okay, that they can't spot themselves. And that's one thing it's easy to get deluded, but you always want to keep yourself in check. And when you find yourself getting overconfident, and it will happen even to the most meekest people out there. You may be the most meek, humble person out there, but you're still going to feel that pride and sense of accomplishment and overconfidence as you start watching your account grow. It happens. You will see changes in your thought processes, changes in your personality, changes in the way that you react to other people, the way that you treat people, all because your numbers are going up. And that's a sad part, but that's a real part of this. This can turn you into an asshole, and it can turn you into a stupid buffoon that gives it all away too, and that's what this market does. So we don't want to fall into that trap thinking that, yeah, we're the shit, because you're not, and this market will prove it to you. So this was a 3.36 Bitcoin trade. That's the biggest one I ever seen him take. $14,000 of his own money put in on this, 26x leverage. The cost for it was about $216 off the rip just to do the trade. That was the fees. That's off the rip. You've already lost that. You've at least got to make that. Well, here it is. That it was in profit when it actually got up, and we're bragging about it and talking about it and showing everybody why that they need to, come and worship you and say all the great things about you and everything else. Because if you don't, then, well, you're not part of their group. If you say anything bad, you get banned or called a weirdo. But I found that really, really interesting. And so even when he was up, when Bitcoin went to what price was it? It went up by just $100. He was up 358. Realized process P&L was from the fees 216, and the stop loss would stop him out right around $3,700. Now, my question is, for a setup like that, buying the tops at resistance, what the hell? Where's your risk management? How is that just risking 1 to 2, 3, maybe up to 5%, whatever your rules are of your account? This dude's risking 20 to 25% of his account. Now, hopefully, and I'm sure that he did, I'm sure he bailed somewhere midstream without even talking about it. But that's the thing about it. If they mention it, it'll be a small loss. And usually what you hear, I got so much money, that don't mean nothing. I can take that loss. That's nothing. I'll make it up in a few days. And I mean, that's the same thing that we're supposed to be trying to avoid telling ourselves too. We don't want to get in that trap either. We shouldn't be looking, I can make it up. That's cool. It's nothing. But just chugging it off, you're not learning your lessons. And so you're likely to repeat the mistakes if you don't learn your lessons. If you let your egos and emotions and psychologies get to you too much, you're not going to learn your lessons. And you got to, because you got to change your rules and you got to keep updating those things. But I just found that very interesting that the guru, as he's sitting there talking about why you need his expertise so that you can catch all the winning trades, the trades that don't go in the drawdown, the winning ones, the high probability trades, and this was not a high probability trade at all. It's a horrible trade setup. It was horrible. But the thing is, how confidently and boastfully that they present this to their audience, and all the bravado, it entices those new people to jump right in there with them. So there's a lot of people that jumped in on this trade with him, thinking that this dude is the shit, knows exactly what he's doing, has got all the answers, and then, well, I guess today maybe they had an eye-opening experience, because that did not play out at all. Stop loss, not a short stop loss, but a big ass stop loss. That was huge, man. At 26% leverage, this is like a 1.75% stop loss. That's too huge, too big. That gives you 26%. You lost it, 26% or more, maybe 30% of your trade. Out of that $14,000, his account took a big hit, and I'm just kind of curious about how that will play out and how it will be recognized there. But yeah, that was the entry, and this is what happened. Crazy. That's all I got to share about that. Ali Benitez says 100x leverage. Let's go. Actually, I've been playing around with some of that, and there's a way that you can do it. But what I find, depending on what your exchanges that you're on, man, the fees from doing that kind of cuts into it. Especially on a small account. I've been trying that over a bit Unix with really small amounts, right? We're talking like $1 trades at 100, and what you get when they do play out is about even with what you get when you get stopped out, or what you lose when you get stopped. I've not seen it. Can when you get a good move, of course, but I don't know. But again, it's not so much the leverage as it is the stop loss. It's all about that stop loss or liquidation point. You could do a $1 100x trade knowing that you're going to just lose $1, whether that's 1, 2, 3% of your account or whatever, and that can be fine. That's a strategy. You can do it. It's legit. You're using your liquidation as your stop loss. I've not done that too much, but what I've done with it lately, I'm kind of like, on some accounts, my bigger accounts, I've had some decent luck with it. On the smaller accounts, you would have thought that it would help, but it didn't. It just keeps shrinking. I'm like, gosh darn it. I've had one. I've got my bigger account that I've struggled with some. I went on a little losing streak a couple weeks ago. It just kept dwindling. Stopped out. And but that one's doing okay. But the small one, I had a really small one. That one's just been horrible to grow. And I'm still trying. It is, and sometimes. And one time I took that account for $100, like $1,600, and it's just been. A lot of it is when you catch the good moves, when you catch the strong moves, and giving it up in the chop is basically what it comes down to. All right, so anyway, let's take a look at our indices over here, and here's our pullback for total 3, getting some rejection, coming back, probably test the little red trend line area, but we're making higher highs and higher lows now. We got past some areas. We got rejected at a good spot to get rejected on that we can find a higher low. Bitcoin dominance, she made a lower low. So that's hopeful that maybe we can get something. I mean, we hope that we're changing trend. That's the first sign that we want to see. We saw it over here too, but she just went right on back, making higher highs and higher lows. So we're not out of the woods yet for altcoins right now. But Bitcoin dominance should be coming back up for some kind of retest. That's going to knock down altcoins. You're going to see a sell off in altcoins over the next day or so, and then I guess probably this weekend they'll probably start pumping us again. So seems to be what their gameplay is. Let me come over to the chat here. Bull John Prairie says there's only one paid group that will never let you down, and that's the $3,000 a month footsie group. Oh, you're the man. I was thinking about having some fun with that tonight. I don't know if I will or not. I think I got some of this out of my system, but I lost it. Oh, there's the. Oh, it's not on the screen. I don't have it on the scene. The footsie group. Well, if the shoe fits, if the Rolex fits. Ryan K says, hey, Road Dogging Squad. I've been MIA for a while, busy with work. That happens. Listening while driving. Hopefully I'll be able to check in more often soon. Best show. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing all right. Looking for the time we are all geniuses. Man, I hope that comes soon. But that's the bad thing, though. We actually starting to think it. And maybe we tell ourselves, well, I know I'm not really a genius. I know this is the bull market, but I'm still just going to throw stuff in on this, and we'll do stupid stuff. It's going to be really enticing. Just at one point in the market, it doesn't last long, but you can literally throw money on just about everything, and the number starts going up. You'll see it give it back at some point, but it's kind of cool, and it's easy for people to get caught up in all that. Let me go back here and check out the comments here. If you guys got anything you want to take a look at, feel free to go ahead and throw it in the chat. We can spend a few minutes doing that. I just wanted to come over and just kind of give an update on what I saw going on in the market, because clearly this morning everybody was bullish AF. We're going sky high, going to Valhalla, 114,000. That you get all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and maybe they looked that way this morning, but I don't know. We kind of saw some signs last night that it kind of looked kind of iffy. Or else we wouldn't have said, beware of the hump day. So here is another thing. Now, Avi, I want to give you a shout out, man. I really, this is going to freak some of you guys out. Avi, where did it go? It's in there's an Astro section over here. And I put this over here because Ave gets into all this stuff, and I like seeing the posts that he does, and I appreciate all these posts over here. But some of this ties into WD Gann, which is a trader that he's like my hero, and he's an old trader. He's dead. He died in the 50s, right? Very rich man. If you check out his history, the man cracked the market. He figured it out. I mean, for real. You can document his price history where he's calling price and time. This price will reach this at a certain day, months ahead of time. He got something figured out, okay? And it's a rabbit hole to go under, and I'm not even going to pretend. I mean, it gets weird. It gets out there. Square of 9 stuff, and it gets freaking deep and complicated. But fascinating. But anyway, Gann, he took all his real secrets to the grave, but he's got a lot of the secrets out there and a lot of the techniques and things like that. And I respect a lot of things I do with trend lines and angles, are based off of Gann's ideas. But I personally, I think this might be spot on. And I can see on the charts how this situation could come into play. And so the June 6th through 9th, it was calling for a conjunction or whatever, all the astrology stuff. And this is just one section of Gann's analysis. It's not the whole thing, but there's something called price windows based on astrology and certain positions of, and angles of the planets. Okay, it gets in there. It's not taking astrology. I was surprised to see he wasn't looking. He was actually looking at the angles of the planet on the rotation axis, and where it gets weird, and its angle to the horizon, and there's your price target. I'm not, what? What? It's crazy, but my back testing on it, and I was like, holy crap. I don't understand. I couldn't do this. It would take me 3 hours to get something ready for a 5-minute chart. I don't understand, but that's wild. But anyway, so June 12th through 7th, this is when we're getting our full moon. Full moon happened this morning, I believe, about 4:45 a.m. This is calling for a possible pullback to around 100, 103,000 and consolidate around 104, 105,000. Then come toward the end of June, around the 24th to the 29th, another pump back around where we are now is what it's calling for. And it's some interesting things over here. I do see this is kind of interesting. July 21st to the 31st, possible Mars opposition to Saturn, all this sort of stuff. But there might be a pullback to below 100,000, 95 to 98, according to this. Now we just see. But I find that very, very interesting. There's a whole article here. I'd love to know where you got this, Ave. Was it like ChatGPT or something that did an analysis, or through this? But we do have a full moon that's happening, and we got different ideas on the full moon when it comes to crypto. Actually, there's several different ideas. Now, the main theory is that we'll pump on a full moon, and sometimes that happens. There's some confluence, and then sometimes it does not. And now Waters Above Crypto has a theory that, after a certain point is reached, that it flip-flops. Instead of the full moons being bullish, then they start turning bearish. And because he's big into the astrology thing too, Waters Above Crypto here on YouTube. Check him out. He's really kind of cool. He doesn't do what we do here the way that we do it, but it's very wild. Take on the market, I find it's very interesting. But Gann said, that the new moons, depending on what side of the equator that they're popping up of, the equator, one part of the horizon, depending on where it's on the north side or south side, can lead to whether it's an increased area of volatility, or it could be a possible reversal idea. And I believe we're at the volatility area right now, and maybe, and I can see on the charts, we got our 200 moving average here on the 2-hour right down here, with the 100 and the 360. That's at 106. I can see this idea playing out for real. And coming back to around here about 106, definitely doable. Coming back to other targets that he mentioned, somewhere around 100,000, 103,000. Well, that's right here to your 786 and 886 retracements down here, deep ass retracements in case they tried to scare us again over the weekend. Why would they do that? Well, we had a double top. We couldn't get past this guy. That puts us on target. That puts us in for a higher low or a lower low. If we can't break a higher high, we're in danger of a lower low. It's quite possible. Doesn't mean it'll happen. Could be a higher low, and that would be here at these areas that the Gann analysis was looking at. So I think that's very interesting, and I think it might be on target. So I'm watching that idea, especially now that we've started breaking some trend lines. Did you actually break it on this one? Oh, you might still be in it on this one. Ooh, this is what, the 2-hour? Bodies to bodies. We might still be safe here on this little guy. Man, that would suck to take a flag breakout and get stopped out for $3,000 and only to have it turn right around and just go to your target that you're calling for. Who took this trade with me? Yeah. Not a stop loss was hit in this trade. Oh, it's probably because you bailed out. I'm just saying. No, I'm not trying to be mean, but when people brag and are always bragging and being arrogant and all that, it's just you might as well be farting in my nose, farting in my face, because it's just offensive to me. I find it highly offensive and highly just like if you're farting on me all day. I'm like, I don't want to be around you. It's not good. There's nothing good that's going to come from that, other than the validation that you're getting, the little dopamine hits that you're getting from people saying, you're so wonderful, you're great, you know everything, you're great, you're so awesome, you're the best one ever. I think that's all they get, and they must need it. Anyway, if we come down and make a lower low from here, we've completed this possible M pattern or channel, breaking out of the channel. And this trend line, drawing it on this time frame, well, tighten it up over here. I thought it has been broken, but it hasn't yet. What we do see here on the smaller time frame is that these ribbons, or these moving averages, are starting to cross bearishly. I don't look at them for how tight that they get. I look at them for how they interact with each other. And when they start flipping over bearishly, then that means that the momentum is starting to flip bearish. We're starting to lose it. We're starting to go down, and we might be going through a correction. And I don't see how you can't see a correction coming from here if we couldn't get past that higher high. There's got to be something. We got to consolidate and try to go at it again, or maybe come down lower, regroup, and then attack it one more time. But we might be printing some type of top pattern here, since we keep making lower lows or equal lows right here, depending on what charts that you're looking on there. Not the strength that we're looking for in the market right now. Right now, this is still, we got a snowball's chance in hell. Well, a little bit better than the snowball's chance of hell, maybe to catch here. It can, and maybe we can recover a little bit. And who knows, maybe we will go up and make a higher high. I think we need to. We're so close to our all-time high here on Bitcoin. It's really a sign of weakness just to make that little bitty high and then not be able to come up and even retest that area or go higher. I mean, it is, but it's not as weak as if we just kept on going or came up for a lower high. So I'm wondering. All I know is that they're going to try to play the games, and if you're in Bitcoin, they're going to try to take it away from you every which way that they can. And now I think we got a little confluence here with this channel idea. It's a kind of a steep channel. I think it can mature out and go to a more suitable angle, something a little bit more like that. But so far, so good. And I hope that maybe today was just, a fake out or something. But in the past weeks, we've seen some down moves come on a Wednesday, Thursday, and we might have a couple of days of some down. And I'm just trying to, help you get ready for that and to use it to your best advantage if it does happen. So all eyes on this trend line. Now, normally I'm looking for 3 humps and then a dump. And if this trend line be true, if this does hold, and I'm cutting through a body there on it, so it may have. I've switched time frames too. It varies from time frames to time frames, right? Your best ones, I think, are from the bigger takes. And then it says we can even come lower, 108. So here on the 12-hour, we lost to 5. 9 moving averages down here. I'm just kind of checking out some of these guys. Lost to 5, holding the 9 on the 8-hour. 4-hour, we're below the 9. So losing the 9, you pretty much lost a lot of the trend so far. So it looks like they're going to have some fun trying to trip us up with what's going on in the market. Do you ever fat finger fishing on small market coins, or is it not worth it in your opinion? Fat finger fishing on small, you might have to explain that. I don't know if I understand the context for that. My first impression was like the fat finger trade. I'm fat fingered lots of stuff. I fat fingered a $1 million Pepe trade was it Pepe? No, XCN. I went too hard on that. It's a paper trading account, so luckily I'm down $1 million on XCN over here. A paper trade, paper account. But that was from a fat finger trade. That was by accident. Let me come back to the chat here. David Brumble, how's it going? Good to see you here. All right, I don't believe I see any coin or crest or anything like that. Okay, that's cool. It's basically just trying to see what's up with the market. Purpose for the stream, how long we've been going? About 44 minutes. Might have just a nice little short stream going on. This is what we're looking at right now, right? On the daily, we're still doing pretty good. We're still okay. We can get a pullback. I believe we're getting a little bit of a pullback on altcoins, and that's right with Bitcoin. A little profit taking, and that was the Gann analysis idea, that there's a lot of profit taking coming in here at the full moon and at these levels, and we might get a lot of people probably, it's not a bad idea, really. Look at virtuals, Partcoin. Look at you. What are you doing today, Partcoin? Where you at? Where you trading? Oh my gosh. Did you really? I was not prepared for that. Holy crap, Partcoin. She went off the chain today. I don't think I'm in a Partcoin trade. Look at that. So she's down here now. She didn't quite make it to the 886 area at 155. That is, that's pretty gosh darn impressive, man. So, Partcoin, since we got a rejection level over there, possible local top, she's retesting the first area, but honestly, let's see what she does down here. If we're going to pull back for the next few days, let's see if we can, what we do at 128 and then down here at this 0.5. Actually, I would kind of lean a little bit more toward the 0.5. With such a strong move, it's common that you'll get a 50% retracement out of it. That's just a general rule that seems to hold fairly well, and that would also be retesting this little high over here. So 120, if you're looking for a place to possibly get into Partcoin, that would be a good place to check. We'll draw our trend lines up there, and they kind of point the way that, yeah, if we came down, it could probably fit within that trend line, bounce off of it, go for another high or a lower high or whatever kind, and be some nice little profits there. I mean, think about it. If it came down to 120 and came back to where it was, you make 27% gains. Not bad. $100 turns into 127. So I think 119 would be a really good place. Possibly 128, but I really like this area. I'm gonna take this. This is what, the 4 hour? Let's put him over here in our trade setup area. This is Partcoin, 4 hour. So I'm looking for a retest about the 120 area. To add or open, to add to or open a position. Well, I was impressed. That's crazy. So we had a trend line, makeshift trend line over here. It had a few little breaks through, but it respected that area. And then went, man, that's a strong ass bounce. That's beautiful. I'm impressed with that. Here she is on the 4 hour, given that red dot, indicating a little bit of a pullback. Maybe just a shallow pullback. Test the 200 moving average. Look for that. That's about 126. But I think you got a good shot of maybe getting 120. Chris Klein says Merlin looks like it may be on something as well. Let's take a look at Merlin. Let's see, 4 hour. It's right above the testing that 200 moving average. There might be a bearish cross there. It's trying to happen. I don't know if price goes up high enough, it can just do a U-turn and not bearishly cross. Let's say this is good. That's a bullish cross. This one's working on it. That sucked. That one's trying to turn around. Let me zoom out here on the daily. Yeah, look at that. And got the green dot on the daily. Tell you things are about to get exciting. We draw a trend line here and cut through some wicks, and it looks like we might have a possible bear trap idea. I would consider it one. And in my personal opinion, when we find these guys or swing failure patterns, they often result when they break back into a pattern or break back above a trend line. Usually result often, I'll say often results in a strong move. Here was we were following this before, it did it here, and look, higher high. Take that into account now, and here we're doing it again. Will they go up and make a higher high? It's got a good chance to. I'm going to throw 17.2 cents out there. And of course, you know, you got little targets to go with. Looks like 14.8. So far, she's been hit. If it does a lower low, it may just be 13.9. I don't see any reason to go with these targets, to be honest with you. Unless you're just doing something scalp, short term. That's 29% gains versus what we could do if we make a higher high. And look at all this. Man, I can see us getting up to this area fairly easy. So we can get caught up even on the bigger time frames with the smaller price action there, not zoom out and see where we could really be going and where we really were, where we could be getting back to. Don't get too caught up. So that little top target, I'm gonna go ahead and just lay you out over here. That's our 236 fib area right there. Fibs are excellent for this. Bounce off here, go up to 236, 66% gains, go up to the 382 area at 23 cents. That's 126% gains. That's where you're going to find a lot, you know, a good chance of resistance right through there. Might come back, bounce around. Pretty good. You can double back, you can moon bag that little sucker and all kinds of stuff. So it's starting to look good on the daily. Let's go check out the 4 hour. Still looking pretty good. Testing, and of course, still testing those moving averages right there. In the cloud, I think she's going to try to run for it. Here on the 15-minute, looks like she's trying to do it right now. I believe you're right. Now, if you're looking for a flag with a breakout, you do have a breakout there. Let's just make sure that it's not going to turn into one of these guys, because this can happen too. So really, we want to see it get above those areas too. If she got a chance, she's above the candle bodies. Did you see how the angles lined up there? I didn't even do the greatest one down here, but that angle and these angles down here line up. So she's still got some work to do for a breakout. She's trying. Let's hope that she can do it. I'm looking at this idea, because previous trend lines tell me that that could be the resistance, and maybe, just maybe, she's going up here to get rejected, and then we're starting to see a channel start to form, and then it could start looking a little bit more like this. I think I want to, well, that's valid. That's totally valid. Got two touches in there. But in my personal opinion, I think this was the main trend line, and that could be setting us up for bearish divergence and then coming down. So it may only get as high as about 11.6, so let's just keep that idea in mind there. And that's just trend lines and that's not doing the fibs or anything. Chris says, I want to trade the sucker, but not sure. This market's kind of crazy. Like damn Wonka Vader. Upways, Down ways, left ways, right ways, slant ways, sideways. It is kind of crazy. Kelly says, Demo and Peanut. How's Demo doing? Coinbase has got, oh, 5, almost 6 cents. I'm on a small time frame here. She's still at the bottoms, huh? There's a slight uptrend between this wick and that wick, and it looks like it's lining up with that. We're hoping that these areas will hold. Oh, Ichimoku Cloud looks nasty. Are you ready to catch and do something over here? I hope you don't make a lower low. So we're at a possible trend line. I hope that holds. But 0.05965, not very far away from where we are now, would be my first area that I'd be looking for. And then below it, if things get hairy, I don't think they will. I hope they don't. This is not what we want to see happen out of this little guy. What I would look for is possibility of a little bear trap idea to get back in here and start recovering. I'm going to leave that on there just for my thought process. So Demo looking a little suspect, but here's the bullish things you got going on here. Even on this time frame, the 24-minute, our bigger moving averages are bearish. That's the big downtrend. But your 200 just crossed over one of those bigger guys, right? The 360, and they're struggling, but it's a nice start. The 4-hour, I think, is the best place to look for these altcoins when it comes to weighing their strength, and has to do with these bigger moving averages too. They're trying. Man, wow. This one looks like, though, it might have some more momentum down, though. That's scary on the 4-hour. So let's keep our eyes on it. I mean, it can use up a lot of that energy just pushing down just little by little, just grinding against this, but maybe this 5.965 target will get hit. Here on the 15, it looks like it's trying to catch some support in these areas, so that should be slowing it down. And we're starting to see it kind of shift and go a little sideways. That's slowing it down. It's starting to find it, in my personal opinion. It's starting to find its bottom. I don't know if it's going to touch my little line or the trend line or even this red line, but she's starting to, in my personal opinion. There's some bullish divergence starting to play out here, starting to form. What was the other one? Peanut, I believe. Take a look at Peanut. This one shocked me, and I thought this one would die out. I really did, but because I mean, this is very old news. What generated this meme coin, and I did not think that this one would bounce back. I really did. I remember saying it on the stream one time. I was like, "You think Peanut's going to have a comeback?" It did. It did. My bias was totally wrong on that one, but my logic, I think, was still had a valid point. But you get communities and traders involved with coins, and if they can make money on it, I don't know, if they can keep the hype on it and keep attention to it, you can make money on it. I'm just surprised they're able to keep the hype up on this one. It's flipping I mean, it's looking here on the 4-hour. It looks beautiful. It really does. It's retesting at 1 to 2 3/6s, but the moving averages have flipped. I mean, some of the smaller ones, you're working through some stuff, but I'm looking at the bigger moving averages. I'm looking at the 800. I'm looking at the 600 that crossed over it. I'm looking at the 360 that crossed over it. Looking at the 200 that crossed over it, and they are wanting to go. That's crazy. I'm also looking at the trend lines. How we started here, and then how we're doing something like this. deviation from that, and then how we're doing this, which seems to be holding right now. That's a curving starting to happen. If we were to follow, let me get these guys off of here. Trend lines here, we can see candle bodies to candle bodies, and it even rest on top of this wick there. I see a breakout of a falling wedge or a falling channel and a retest idea of the 2-3. I see this is a bullish AF. This is actually could be an entry on the 4 hour. Come down to 15 and find it catching some support over here. Now there might be some bearish crosses, some little flipping going on over here, so she might consolidate down here while things pull back a little bit. Well, I like that. Shoot. I never thought I'd be looking at Peanut, but I might take a little perp trade on that at some point when I find that entry here. If we catch support here and respect that trend line. It does look like Peanut might be, if she catches support here at this 236 area, these trend line, that red line, trend line, we start printing some red candles, she may be coming back up. It'll probably come back up and do a retest or something like that, but then I would expect it to try to do something. I know we're kind of rounding over, but sometimes these guys can, I like these guys myself, the rounded tops. They don't always turn into Bart Simpsons. Usually when they're rounded, they don't. I don't think they're usually flat when they do that, flattish. But when you get a scallop pattern as a top, sometimes they come down to the points and then they go bullish. So I'm not seeing the signs of that happening just yet on the moving averages, but I am seeing a sign that if nothing else, that she's trying to come up for a bearish retest. And maybe she does this, maybe she's still working on this little zigzag thing. But at some point, I can see this one turning bullish. Respecting this area here. I want to keep an eye on this one. I might try to make a little play. Thank you for bringing that one up, Kelly. Let me put my little note over here so I can hopefully see it. Oh, now it's messing with my camera. Chris Klein says, you got a few minutes for mana, possibly, sir? Think she might be starting to do something, not sure though. I've been wanting to check in on these guys myself. They were big back in the day. The Mana, Decentraland, and then of course Sandbox. And gosh, I remember Sandbox got on up there. I remember it coming down around $2, and I thought that's a good deal for Sandbox. I need to buy some of that here at the start of the bear market, like an idiot. I remember doing that. I don't know why. But I remember making a buy there thinking, it looks pretty good. Here we're at 28 cents on Mana. So trend line starting, and we got, we're working on some levels here. We got 1 hump, 2 hump, actually get 3 humps before we correct. Man, at this point on these coins, now I don't know how this one's going to do, but I can tell you that it will probably do a lot better than where it's been down here. Now maybe she only gets to $1 or $2. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the project or anything like that. But when I see prices at these little bottoms, it gets me excited, because this is where position traders load up. They load up big fat bags, slowly accumulating through here on these little bottoms like this, so that they can sell those big fat bags when they get back up to the top, partly to the top of the range. That's what's been going on here. 180%. Think about playing this. Think about it if you're a whale and you're just buying, I don't know, whatever you can put in here without taking over the market, and you're trying to do it slowly. But 175% gains to the upside. and 65% gains to the downside. 176 gains to the upside, 68% gains to the downside. 180% gains to the upside, another 60-something% to the downside. Do you guys see how many times that you can multiply and grow your account doing this? Do you see the possibilities of what you can do when you work this out? If you have $100 in here and now you've got almost $300 worth. Then if you don't short it and you just wait and patiently do it, now you got a $300 position that turns into a $600 position almost, right about. Wait till it comes down here, you take your $500 or $600 and now it becomes a $1,000 position. All this, you 10x'd your position size with $100. I mean, it took a lot of patience, but that's an example of the idea behind this and how this can work. $1,000, and now you got $1,000 put in that can come up here, and then what? That turns into $2,000 off from $100. Now these guys are doing with a much bigger scale, but that's basically the game plans that they work through here. And of course, they're not nailing it perfect and getting every perfect statistics there, and it's software that's doing it for them. It's their bots and everything else. It's not somebody just sitting there punching buttons, unless it's us trying to mimic them. But that's what's happening with accumulation, and that's what they're doing. Whether it's this sideways bottom accumulation or whether it's a top, a top distribution, same idea is going there, man. When you see those top distributions, when we're starting to level out at the tops, you got that little range, man, and they're selling and shorting and selling, and that's where the bigger money, that's where the market makers and everything are making their money. They make their money here. We make our money here. We make the most. We do our best. We do our best when we're catching these guys, and it's hard to do, and they don't come often enough, and they don't go up often enough, and then they entice us into the range of consolidation, and then that's where they entice us to give it back, because we're trying to long the tops, or maybe we're trying to long bottoms and get something, but most people are long in the middles, long in the tops, or flags to the upside, and they get caught down on drawdown and liquidated or bail out, stopped out, whatever. And shorting and everything, and shorting support and shorting, you get all the wrong plays going on, and they just take all the money from here, because it's never a perfect zigzag. It's always to freak you out and little things, but it's when they range us that they take all the money back. That's why we got to be careful of trying to trade these ranges. If you and the only way to do a range correctly is to find the bottom of it and the top of it and stay away from the middle. And then you got a little bit better a shot, easier talked about than actually executed, unless you've got some good tools or good guidelines to go by. And I gotta say, that little range tool's perfect for all this stuff. Is that you? Are you the range tool? And the little range tool say, hey man, some profit up here about 55 cents. Now, if that little range tool is right, it's pretty gosh darn accurate. It lines up with fibs a lot from what I've seen. 34 cents to the point of control, and that's at 39 cents. And 90% gains up to 56 cents on that. It's a good little tool. All the volume is coming in right down here. This is where all the action's happening. This is the best little area to buy, is what this tells me. Between these two red lines, man, to stack up on Decentraland. 29 cents. And what if it goes to $3? And what can you do just playing within this range that we've been in? Now, hopefully, I was looking for a triple bottom. Now we got 4. Okay, so 4 bottoms down here. I doubt that we get another one. I just seriously doubt it. I would think that this would be the one that would actually break out of this whole zone. And she got a higher high, and then you came down and made a lower low. To me, I think that's trying to flush out the range. This could be a possible, if you look at this in Wyckoff view, this could have been the possible spring idea. Just saying. And then we jumped the creek. Let's take a look at sand. How's sand doing? It's kind of a similar kind of idea, metaverse kind of play. Also at the very 29 cent sand. It's like 21 was about the lowest that it got. Oh, look, yeah, you went above my target, didn't you? 93. Did you really? Went up to 105. These targets that I had were based on this move over here. Right? Oh, freak. They should have been based on that move over there. Well, maybe they weren't. What the hell? Okay. I pulled from a different bib. I may have been doing something over here. But anyway, swing low to swing high. How did those targets do? You went with your 127. You went with your 138. I probably wouldn't have chosen the 138 based on what I'm seeing here. But setting targets at those fibs would have got paid. I thought I had my little fib areas figured out there. I must have did this. Were you a swing low or swing high? Was I playing this? Yeah, I was playing that. So I was playing this, and still, well, we never went back up there. I guess I should take all this stuff off. That's old. I was looking for 93 cents on that one as a possible if we bounced off of this. And well, clearly I was wrong. We broke our trend line, retested it bearishly. I never looked at it again. Am I upset because I was wrong? No, I'm never upset, because you're going to be wrong at times. You're not going to get it. You're going to be off your game, or maybe, you know, you're just not into the chart, or maybe you just, you know, it looked like a real good setup. That one did. That looked like a possible AB equals CD to me, so that's what I didn't play the AB equals CD though, did I? I was looking at her holding the 618. So sand down at some juicy places. She gets back to $1.08 from 29 cents, because it needs to go back up there and test it. Higher high or a lower high. Man, that'd be that's 270% to get up there. I don't know if sand can ever get back up to $8 during its hype of metaverse and everything, because man, you had big companies like Atari and all these big corporations buying plots of land over there, expensive plots of land, on Sandbox. Will you get back to $2? Man, I would be impressed to see you get back there. Chris Klein said Cloud has a nice little run up from what I saw too. Cloud. I don't know if I've ever looked at Cloud. I'm not really familiar. Obviously, it must be a cloud service. Oh, that's nice. So you got a green dot on the daily? Money flow starting to come up. It's not in the green yet, but starting. That looked like a possible trigger wave right here. Let's see what price action did there. Trigger wave is when you have these bases, and then you get this little bitty wave, and it's kind of hard to see sometimes. You don't always see it. This volume momentum wave came down and printed a green dot on a little bitty point right there, and usually that results in a pretty good move. Started slow, but she did start coming up from there. Higher highs and higher lows. Can't bitch about that. $618 rejection. So, and it looks like she hadn't quite made it through there. She got rejected on one little retest, but she just got to work through it. So it looks like 18.6 cents be our next little target. Maybe up to 20 cents. But, shoot, let's start targeting this area for our higher highs. About 26 or 24 cents, and that's almost a double up from where we are.
I've been watching charts all night, chasing every green. Crypto city whispers low, it's
Let's see, I've got the, let's see, the numbers are over here. I don't need to put the little labels so much. I'll put it over here on the target. So 24 cents. From here to there, that's 60% gains. That's not bad. I'm not saying get in now. Let's see, come to the 2 hour, something smaller, and see what's going on. Got a red dot there. She might be wanting to come down a little bit. Maybe. It's still looking strong. What is this area? About 1438. I think that looks like a pretty decent area to take a shot at it. Let's share this idea. So we'll do cloud. This is 2 hour. So it looks like a small, possible small pullback and then a pump higher is what the idea I'm looking for there with the targets. Dylan VA says, fat finger is when you have a wick, for example, 25% that you place a spot order just before half of the wick due to big potential pumps and dumps on short caps. No, I've never done it that way or put one on half of a wick. I understand the concept behind that, 50% of the wick to do that. I can do some, at times I do things something similar to that where I will have a limit order set. Not necessarily just a half of the wick though. But that's not, no, that's not a bad, that's a valid strategy, definitely. Sometimes you can get a little bit lower though. But yeah, I'm not beyond, you know, finding a place and putting I do that because, well, when I used to have to work a full-time job, I couldn't be in here watching charts all the dang time, especially small time frames and this and that. You had to come up with a swing trading strategy that fit your lifestyle, and a lot of you guys are going through that too. So you see the people here on YouTube, they're out here day trading and they got, you know, 4 hours on screen every morning or whatever. You know, they don't have a day job or whatever to go to, or if they do, they're, you know, they're not doing it while they stream. But if you know, you got life going on and you're not in a position where you don't have to have a day job, and even sometimes in this market, you're like, oh man, I may need to start getting a day job again. Let's not turn around. Oh gosh, this is getting kind of creepy. I've had those experiences too. Even the guru that we're talking about now that has all the money, last cycle and the summer when we had our dip, they were working DoorDash. They did not have those millions then. I'm just saying, do the math. Do the math. You'll see. Yeah, where does it come from? Yeah, it's easier to become a millionaire if you're getting $200,000 a month from people in your trading group. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. If you haven't figured it out now, then there's your answer. And if you want to be in a trading group and pay $100 a month, that's totally up to you. Just understand that you would hope that the person running that trading group would actually have something of value to give you that will not get you wrecked. And I see a lot of things. Anyway, let's go. Cloud, what are you doing? What were we talking about before this? I got sidetracked. I'm so bad. Possible double top scenario there. It did not make any higher. So it's still looking good. But that's a little warning sign. There might be a bigger pullback than what I got here. I don't think it'll be too brutal. I think maybe it'll come down to here. So we got that idea too. So my entry there may not be the very best. I was looking at the support of here. Ryan K says Doge. Take a look at Dogecoin here. Should be doing better, right? 19.8. Oh man, you still no? Okay, that's my line. You're at 19.5 cents. Oh, cool. Cause she got down low, scary low. 618 was right around 18 cents. Glad to see we're above that. I'm on the 2-hour chart. Let's zoom out so we can see what's going on. Trend line. How well was that? That's kind of iffy. MACD was curving up on the daily. That's good. Look like she's trying to get bullish. I don't need this box there anymore. Okay, here we go. Daily. There we go. Just there, touch. And oh, you're not touching anything down here. She's still got some work to do, man. On her trajectory, we get to see her get above 24 cents somewhere through there. Really, I mean, really, we got to see her make a higher high. But do I have any concerns here? I do. I've got the concern at the rejection that we're at right now. So unless we do something mega freaking bullish and overcome that, I don't see the signs of it just yet. I don't see the. Maybe. I'll hope. But to me, I see more of a probability here on the daily that maybe we come back down. It may do a double bottom or something like that. Or a higher, you know, some kind of higher low. If she does get above it, that's bullish AF. But I kind of see this a little bit more probable, especially if the moving average is starting to cross here on the daily. So it looks like Doge not out of the woods yet. Come to the 4-hour. Oh, there's our rejection. There's our rejection right there. Total 3, are you looking more bearish now? That's not really cool. It's not the greatest trend line on. We have to adjust it here a little bit. There we go. Now, the body there. Sometimes you have to do it on the whatever, you know, you go to different trend line or time frames to adjust it a little bit. But it's a bearish retest at the moment, and I would expect a little bit of a pullback on the 4-hour, where I think is the best place to look at these coins right now. To give you an idea, the daily and the 4-hour, to give you an idea for what's happening, so you don't get caught up on the small time frame moves. So if we can get a bull trap, man, this thing could do really good. And the moving averages are starting to curve around. It's the process. They've been doing it for a while. It's just a little process, a little shaky and everything. So yeah, we lost that trend line, but who's to say that we didn't just make a new one? There's an idea there. It's not the greatest idea. It may even change again to a different angle, but that one holds more true. Well, no, that one holds true too. I'm checking out some channel ideas there. So might get a little bit of a pullback over the next night or so. Here on the 4-hour, we can see MACD is, well, that's not the MACD. MACD is not yet rolling over, but she's starting to show them signs. It has on some of the coins. So let's come over and check a look at total 3 again. Here we are now. Total 3 losing the 204-hour moving average after getting rejected up there. So yeah, we're getting a nice little pullback. I don't think it's going to be too mega steep, but that will give us a chance to. We got our higher low in, we got our higher high in, and in my opinion, the next higher low here would be a really good place to add to your position. And I don't know if that's going to happen today, tomorrow, Friday. I expect one of those days. I expect them to maybe try to scare us a little bit on Friday, and then start, or through Thursday, and then maybe Friday start pumping us up to get everybody. Oh look, we're going to pump on the weekend. I don't know, but they've been playing games with us, and they're playing games with us today. Hump day, giving us that little pullback there. China, what's on? Hey man, can you look at Griffin? Love your style, dude. Hey, thank you for being here. Griffin. Where do we want to look at Griffin? How about, I'm just going to go CoinX. Zoom out on it. Ooh, what we got going on here? Indicators on the daily. MACD starting to look a little interesting. Little warning here. You know, she's losing a little momentum before she crosses. So let's see, is it going to cross or roll over? Got some bullish divergence. What else we got? That's nice. We got a little respect for angle there. Let's, ooh, nice. That's good. That's good. 786. Finding support there. And we got a trend line. Oh, baby. You're making me tingle inside. So we got some of that going on. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'll take this and I'll post it in the trading group too. Or the trading community. It's not a paid group, it's a free group. It's a private group, but free. So our big juicy target, which obviously will take a while to get to, since we haven't been here since February. Wow, you got up to where? 63 cents? And you're at what? 5 cents now? That's a hellacious come up. What would that do? That's 800% gains to get back there? To where we were in January? All right, so we got that. Now let's take a little something a little bit more local. Right here at that little wick. Let's do the same thing. I want that 236 area identify, because that's going to be our next little target. And we may go through it. I'm not saying she'll get totally rejected there, but sometimes she does. But we need to get past 8 cents so that we can start looking at 16 cents. And right now, we are testing that 236 area from this low to high. That's good. Oh, which is also a 786. So all my little Fibonacci stuffs are giving me good confidence that it's at an area where it can hold. I hope to see it holds. There's always a chance that it can come lower, break a trend line, come lower. More than likely retest this area right over here, about 4.5 cents, or maybe around 3.5. We can look at that if that happens. I'm not seeing the sign that it's happening just yet. We come down to the smaller time frame, 4 hour. Oh, you looking scary over here, ain't you? 200 moving average is way above the 800, 100, 300, 600. Right here at 8 cents, it tells me that we got a good shot of going there. I want to put this little guy on here too. Now there's a chance, since she blasted through this before and blasted through it over here, that she may just blast right through this once we get past 6 or 7 cents and go straight to 8.5. There's nothing there, but we'll put that little target over here. I'm going to label it a different color, such as like white or something. But that's this area right over here that was also resistance, and it might be, but it wasn't resistance going up, and it wasn't support coming down. So the chances are likely that once we get up there, this vector candle idea, it can easily get blasted through over there. So I kind of like that. These are some of the ideas that are right up my alley, what I like looking at. Especially if you got a trend line broke out on the other side of it. So, I mean, with something like this, a DCA approach or just getting in, but when you got a bounce of a trend line, man, your risk to reward ratio is so low. If you were taking a chance on this, or this idea, a setup something like this, where we're buying at support, where we got confluence that, hey man, this looks like a possible good, strong support area. That's what I like. And then think about it. If I can get the right little setup here, tool. That's a lofty target. That's a high target. And that's a ballsy play. That's 210% gains. Look at the risk reward ratio, putting it right below this lower low, the low that we had over here. Now that's 10%. That's a little high. It's not so bad on spot, but you can put it even tighter. You can put it. Let's get it. You can put it really, really tight. But that's not. Yeah. I don't really on spot. I don't like much more than 10%. But you can tighten it up as much as you want to. You could even, if you find this on purpose. I'm not suggesting you do this, but if you use 50 or 100x leverage and your stop loss was still $1 or $2, the gains that you could make off of just that, you could make possibly $33 off of $1 risk off of this, if you got the patience to wait for it. I'm not saying that the 8-cent target would be a little bit more what we're looking for. Let's see how more relevant that is. That was too ballsy right there. The 200 moving average, that's a great little target. That'd be an 8-to-1 risk reward ratio, 6% stop loss. I mean, right below the trend line is where I go, but what if they come down and stop us out for meanness? Yeah, so we got to keep those ideas. But you get a tight stop loss when you're playing a near trend line, and usually get some pretty good risk reward ratios there. So a 5% stop loss, if you are using 50x and you just risked $1, meaning that 5% stop loss takes your $1 at 50x, that $1 could turn into $10. That's just a tiny little controllable degen play that could be an option. There's other things you do. You just no leverage at all. You spot, build a position. There's gains that can be made from this at 5 cents, and it can get up to what? How high did you get? From 5 cents to 60. It's been at 60 something cents this year. It's on high discount right now. I don't know what the tokenomics look like for it. You got me kind of interested on this one. It's on. Oh, you on Solana? Oh, you're a pump dot. Oh man, I didn't know you're a pump dot. I don't. Some of them they did good. It's just how the token was made here. Ooh, what the hell? Why are you so new over here? That doesn't look right. It says agent grip. Let's go to maybe did I spell you wrong? Griffane. I see what you did. The one on Solana, they spelled the name I-A-N instead of A-I-N. That's how they get you with the fake coins and stuff. Here we go, Griffane. $55 million market cap. This is it, not the fake one we just looked at. It's easy to get enticed with that. Your best bet if you're ever trying to trade a new coin is to come to CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, or wherever, Tokenmetrics, any legitimate place, the platform that helps us keep up with those, and you copy the contract address, and you come over here. Oh, you tell me, where's the contract address? Oh, jeez. Unless you're here, it's right here. I'm sorry. So there is one on Solana contract on there, and it's not a pump.fun. The pump.fun one was the fake one, and that's why I don't like pump.fun tokens, because a lot of them are just fakes, copycats, whatever, money grabs, rug pulls, and all that. Not all of them, but the majority. So let's take a look. Griffane all-time high was 63 cents. It's down 91% from that. And just by that standard alone, when you see an altcoin down between 90 to 98% from its all-time highs, usually a good place to buy, because that's usually what they fall from their all-time highs. So just using that idea alone can help navigate you if you're getting into an altcoin at a good price, okay? Because if they're like 70% down from the all-time highs, well, you've probably missed some of it. But if they're back around 90, oh, it's worth looking at. All right, so the tokenomics is a $55 million market cap, so still small market cap. and we've seen that it got up. Let's do a quick little math here. You are 0.05 cents. $13, huh? So this thing was up a $750 market, $700 million market cap at its high a month ago. It was up $700 million market cap, roughly right around through there to get it to that 65% area, or price, 65-cent price. It's down a lot. It can get back up there. There could be some gains off of it. Let's go check out the project. Hi, I'm Griffin. I power the AI engine to help you turn intent into action. Get started. Banner wallet. Do I have you on here? I just want to see what it does. I've never seen it. I don't know that I got my... Oh, I don't have my Phantom wallet over here. I guess I know. More options. Okay, Brave wallet. Let's see. I don't even think I got anything going on over here. I don't even know my password for this one. Oh, I guess I do. Yeah, let's try this. I got nothing on over here. Let's see what this one looks like. Sign, whatever. I'm connected to my Brave wallet. What do they got over here? I've never checked it out. What do you want to do? Add energy. Energy is consumed when you chat with agents. The payment token will be automatically converted to USDC. Create a wallet. Create a meme coin. Mint video NFTs. That's interesting. Airdrop tokens. Grow your wealth. Deposit stable coins and earn. Yeah, I need to really start checking out some of these projects just to see what they're doing over here. They got a store? What's the store? Type at and chat to switch agents. You can switch agents. DeepSeek inside the agent. So you got access to AI through crypto and crypto platforms. Engage with Xpost. That's interesting. Huh. Playground? What's that? Play around with on-chain actions and agent-driven experience. Solana Playground, MetaPlat. Here's the wallet. Threads. Don't see what that is. Task. Autonomous task. Create a recurring task for an agent to execute. You know, I need to start looking into... I haven't set up any kind of agents to do something for me, and I know that's available. And it'll get easier and easier and easier as time goes on, where you just say, hey Siri, do this, blah, 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 and then blah, all stuff starts happening everywhere or whatever. It'll get a lot easier and not as complicated as time goes on. Man, AI is going to change everything in our lives so much. And it's going to be changing fast all the damn time. You're going to have to be able to pivot on the dime with the way things are going to be changing. So there's 1 billion of this, $55 million. That looks, I'm copying this and I'm going to put it over here. I'll put it in the vanity wall. Because I'm going to go check that one out after the stream here. That one looks interesting. I might have to... This one's at a point where I'm just tempted. If nothing else, DCA in on this one. At 5 cents, it goes back to 60 cents. I mean, I'm sure I can scrape up a few $100s here on my Solana wallet. I did consolidate down to one project. I wish I'd waited on that, but I didn't. Or 2 projects on one of these wallets. So I'm probably going to... How are they doing? Are you up? Oh, good. You're not dying anymore. I have been... I don't know if Haven's here on the stream, but I've been looking at the ones that he mentioned, and it was another AI kind of place. This is Nyla. It's a new one on Solana, and she was doing a little rising wedge, and it looks like she's going parabolic. And sure enough, as soon as I draw one of these little things, I curse the whole price action, and she falls out of it. That's It's okay. It used to piss me off, but now I'm just used to it. I was like, I have the power to make your coin drop if I would draw that little yellow line. I can do it. So we got this happening now. Hopefully we're finding some support there. Let's pull our fibs out and see where we landed. Swing low to swing high, baby. Oops, there we go. Right here, get it right. 6618. Love it. Gives me some new fresh targets to shoot for. Actually, I think that was a 1618 right there. Where were you at? You didn't hit it? Okay, well, I'll maybe anyway.
Riding high on the crypto wave. Stacking coins, I'm feeling brave. Road dog, show me a better way.
So at this point, if we're going to hold the trend line, we should be making a higher high. If we're going to make a higher high, and the only ones I'm interested in are 0.007 and a half and 0.008 for Nyla. And this is just one. This one's got a tiny market gap too. But I want to go check it. It's an AI little thing too. Not. What do we got in here? Where are you? This is Nyla AI, and you know, can we connect with? Oh, we can connect here too. I've never actually taken a look at it either. I guess I should. Let me see what you got to offer. It might be something a little bit similar over there. Authenticated Solana wallet dashboard. Let's go. The other one had a nicer platform. Profile, swaps, transfers. What's this? I don't. It's a commands. Activate command allows you to create a new Nyla user profile with your own Solana wallet address. Attach command lets you authenticate your wallet. Okay, I don't know. That one looked kind of cool. Projects. How projects are built. We looked at this a little bit earlier. Age appears 20. Here, but what is? And there's Nyla and Yuki. And Yuki is a meme coin, but is attached to this one too. I decided to take a play on this. She was built to run code. She wasn't meant to feel, to choose, or to dream. But when White Cat appears out of place, and so what? Wow. Now I'm looking at this, comparing it to Griffane, and I liked what I saw over in Griffane. I'm not really sure exactly what the hell this one does. Maybe I should have done more. There we are, Nyla AI. Activate transfer. Archive. Swap. Launch tokens. So they're supposed to be building a lot of, you know, apps or agents or something over here, and a development team and everything else. But I gotta be honest with you, man. This Griffane thing over here, that looks a lot more interesting to me. With things that you could do. Agent Lulo. Diversify your portfolio with sustainable DeFi yield. Divide a swift amount of tokens on the Lubo account. Okay, withdraw, get token balances. Diversify your how. It all looks very interesting to me. I just don't have a good solid grasp of it, what all that they can do, and they all do different little things. But Griffane looks, I kind of like that. How do I get out of here? Log out. Yeah, make sure we log out for safety's sake. Even though there's nothing on that wallet. All right, guys, I've been going for, gosh darn it, has it been 2 hours? I gotta quit these 2-hour streams. I don't mean to take them that long. That's too much. 20 people hanging out with me, though. Thank you for being here so much. We come back to the chat here. Dog, how's your Nitro looking? Did you moon? Nitro. It did. I moon backed it, and then I added some more back to it. And where did we have that? I don't have deck screener up here. And I put very little in it. I did. It was a degen play, and I just put $25 in it. I saw it grow up to like $170, and I'm like, okay, I'll take some profit from there. So what's my position right now for Nitro, right? So Nitro, I mean, like I said, all I initially put in was $25, and I took it went up, and then I took 50 out, and I still got $66 worth of Nitro. Not a huge play, but I mean, I minimize my degens. I rarely go in big on the meme coins. I've got a few positions, some of them $500 worth, $1,000 worth on a few, but I usually don't, and they grow up to that. I don't ever start them that way. And then I've had some that went down to hardly anything. Nitro. So there was Nitro, and then there was JYAI, which was another one. And so this is what Nitro is looking for. And I think when you guys mentioned it, I don't know, I got in really, it is a decent spot. Still looking for these targets, and we're still on projection for those to eventually get hit. As long as this trend line still maintains, we don't lose our 618 tracement here. So still looking good, but she's not anywhere near as high as what she used to be. So she'd be double up, and that would be back around that $130 area, I guess. What was it, 170? I took 50. That sounds about right, I guess. So it's doing okay. And then we had JYAI. That's another one that I played. It did almost just as good, and I mean back this one too. And similar. She's down a little bit lower, and I think, again, that was one I just put $25 into. Pulled some out and then added some more, and that one is at $39 right now. That one's took a little bit of a hit. But Nitro, yeah, I was very impressed with that one, with its performance there. I just saw it looked like a good place to get in on the chart. I wanted to do low market cap. I was like, shoot, yeah, let's take a chance on it. The biggest thing that spoke to me with where were they? What's the market cap right now? The market cap right now is 4.5 million. I think it was somewhere 1 to 200,000 or something like that over here. And I was like, okay, if it does something, it's going to go. And she did. So I feel very privileged to be able to get in at these little somewhere over through here prices. Is this Ethereum, not the dollar? Anyway, she's doing good. So thank you very much for sharing. That's what makes this stream so cool with you guys. We're sharing information. I'll bring some coins to the table. You guys bring some coins to the table. May not be things that we normally look at or even thinking about looking at. And that's what makes the magic happen. You get to see new ideas and new concepts, and maybe be exposed to a new project you didn't think about. Maybe you need it. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe you need to stay away from it. Maybe you need to jump in. I don't know. But we're trying to keep a tab on what's going on in the market and what we can expect. If it looks like it's got good possibilities or not, and I'll give you my opinion, and it doesn't have to match with yours, but it's just an opinion. But a little input from an idea. We just share ideas, and maybe it can turn into something good. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this stream up because 2 hours is just too long for any stream, and it's almost 5:19. I gotta go check on my family here. Thanks for hanging. Bag it. Riff looks nice. It does look nice. I'm very tempted. Hey, there's Soul. How's it going, Soul? Let's go 2080 and your favorite law. I don't know how to do the trading stuff. Well, then don't do anything too crazy. DCA. If you don't know how to trade, let me say this. Let me tell you this. Dollar cost averaging a little bit on whether you do it by time or like every so many weeks or days or however you do it. If you consistently just do a little here, little here, little here, I'm telling you, you will probably outperform a lot of the traders. I'm just being honest with you. I'm being straight up honest with you. You don't have to learn, and you can learn this stuff as you go. But if you're just now coming in, and you're not a trader, you don't have to be a trader. You don't. And in fact, I would say that the people that play the slower game and the DCA game, that they often do a lot better than the real actual people out there trading. Just saying. And so just keep that in mind. So if you see something, just nibble, build up a bag. Just know what you're holding. Try not to get in too dang many coins, because that's opportunity cost. I can attest for that. That's a bad habit. I still have. And I've seen what it can do for the cycle and last cycle. And I'm telling you, it's best, if you can get a little, I'm not saying just go with 5 coins, but try to keep it. Definitely try to keep it under 20. I think 20 is too much, and I got way more than 20. Way more than 20 different projects. Too much. I won't do it again next time. Every time that you go through a cycle, you're making rules for what you will and will not do the next cycle. And one of them that I will not do, one, is get into altcoins early. I will not use Bitcoin to fund those altcoins early. That was a big F up on my part, for real. I'm just being honest with you. I see that now. Wish I saw it then. I'd still have all that Bitcoin. But anyway, so those are two things. I will not be jumping into altcoins way too early, because they give it up, come back, give it up, come back, give it up, come back. I mean, you can play. We can get a play, but to try to get in early to hodl to the end of the cycle for that blow off top, that's just stupid. Probably not stupid, but just unwise. You have better opportunities not to do it. So focus on Bitcoin, the first part of the bear market, and then later on, after, you could wait literally till a year after the halving, when we get our final dump out of altcoins, and come in and do better than you ever expected. I really believe that. That's what I've seen happen and play out. And I've even got this little, that's why I've got this guy. It was all mostly Bitcoin. I did some altcoins, and all the altcoins are down except for BET, but all the Bitcoin has made this little $100,000 account. It's at 1.82 million paper trading, but I'm still down at 1.5 million. So really, it should be, if I hadn't got into this, I might be at $5 million or something on this from $100,000. Mostly Bitcoin, just buying Bitcoin with this account. That's what made the gains. That's an eye opener. That should really drive it home that Bitcoin is the boomer coin. You're like, oh, I don't want Bitcoin. Get altcoins because they outperform Bitcoin. Nobody wants Bitcoin. Who wants? That's just all you're going to do. 2-3x. That's nothing. That was what was being sold, right? Now I wasn't selling that because I know Bitcoin can do some stuff, and I knew I needed to be Bitcoin heavy. I just made the dumb stop of thinking I can put some of that Bitcoin money to back up my altcoins and it go in my favor. I should just use straight up cash for that, not use the Bitcoin. The cash would have worked. The Bitcoin kind of pisses me off because Bitcoin is hard to freaking get. It keeps going up. It's harder to get. Don't want to risk it anymore on altcoins ever. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and head out of here. Thanks for hanging out. And like I said, we do think that altcoins do look like they're going to pull back a little bit. Take one more look here at total 3 just to see how they're doing, or total 2, or one of the totals. Total 3 is right here. Still pulling back a little bit. I don't think it's going to be a deep pullback, like scary pullback, crash the market or anything like that. But you've been looking for a place to get in on some better positions. May have missed out on a few runs. Now you know what you're wanting to look for, and now we can look at a chance to find an entry to get into over the next few days. Getting ready for the weekend. Apparently, they're going to try to pump us this weekend. I'm just roll with it, baby. Let's roll with them. Let's not get on the opposite side of them. Right now, they want to pull back. They look for a juicy entry. Let's look for a juicy entry too, and then let's take some profits on the weekends, just like they do. All right, I'll see you tonight at 10:30, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Let me go to the end screen and we'll wind this little sucker down.
shadows fade away. I'm on this neon ride, sats in my veins. FOMO's electric spark. Ooh yeah.
Hey, you're welcome, guys. Hey, Brave Expanse, how's it going? Let's see if we can get that 1% rate cut next week. Whenever they turn the money printer back on, that's when your altcoins are going to blast. That may be in July. Or maybe I hope maybe they'll do something next. I don't know, but from what I can understand, July looked like a highly probable time for them to actually maybe do something like that. But that's the real mover for your altcoins, is when money printer get turned on.
Rising through the dark, I'm flying high. Yeah, yeah. Crypto's glow won't fade my soul. Ooh. Bull run shines, I found my goal. Neon bull run, run, run. Oh, oh. Rook pulls behind. I've broke their chains. Flipped the spark to gold. Washed away the stains. Markets are home. Echoes in my core. Ooh, yeah.
Sometimes you need a little cowbell.
Moons lift me up. I'm craving more, yeah. Yeah. Dips turn to light. I'm riding this gleam. Every crash I dodge, every wind.
Hey, diggity!
Crypto's my rhythm flowing through my sight. Bull runs my dawn, burning up the night. Neon bull run lighting up the sky.
Chris Klein says, I wish both Sand and Mana would make a nice comeback. That'd be great if they did. They just they didn't do anything during the bear market. I mean, as far as development or anything like that, I didn't hear anything from them.
Neon bull run, run, run. Oh, 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 oh.
Seems like some of these developers on some of these projects only want to build when the price is pumping to get more people to buy in. I don't know if Sandbox will ever do anything, or I hope that they do. I think now with AI, we could use AI as far as developing and designing and things like that. It should make it more interesting. Don't know if they will do it or not. It was.
Rising through the dark, I'm flying high. Yeah. Crypto's glow won't fade my soul.
A wonky morning. It was wonky. Trade the dead zoning up burn. Well, everything that we do, every mistake that we make, we learn from. As long as we can commit it to rules that we will try to follow. And we don't always follow our rules. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes we get a little, I don't know if it's emotional or you just get a wild hair, you get something. And sometimes you just feel like breaking them rules. And every once in a while you might get lucky, but usually when you break your rules, you usually regret it. But it's good. The important part is just to make rules and have them, whatever they are, and then to try to abide by them. I should probably get a merch store at some point. I don't know. Am I too lazy to get all this stuff started? I could probably do things to monetize this channel a lot better, and I probably should, because it doesn't do much as far as anything like that goes. I don't see how people make a living on YouTube unless they have something like a trading group or something like that. That's how they seem to do it. I'm just not comfortable with that. But merch, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I haven't ever gotten around to it. I don't have that big of enough audience really to do much of that yet. Is what the voices I keep hearing say. But I have thought about maybe doing some t-shirts, or I don't know, maybe some mugs or something. Cowbell would be cool. But I was thinking about the t-shirts, man. I have got some pretty cool designs for some of these songs. I don't know if that would be something interesting, people. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really made it to that level to think about doing any of that stuff seriously. Maybe I'm just a bad YouTuber. I'm just not good at monetizing YouTube or growing YouTube. I've been doing this for 3 years and have still not broken 3,000 subs yet. So That does say something somewhere, and I haven't quite figured it out yet. And we're in the bull market, so channel should start growing now, right? But I'm very fortunate and very grateful for the 842. I got some new subscribers. Yay! I'm happy. We picked up about 5. That's pretty good. And maybe one day. I just hope that I'm bringing value. That's the important thing. If I'm not bringing value, I could see why things wouldn't grow. But I feel like I am bringing value. And I hope I'm bringing value. And I'm hoping that it's benefiting people. And hopefully word will get out. And eventually there'll be a little bit more growth in this channel. I just want it to grow organically. Never signed up for any of those, hey, grow your channel. They used to come at me all the time. And I was like, nope, thank you. Search engine optimization. Nope. Get up to 15 to 4,300 more impressions promoting 10-minute weekend forecast for Bitcoin altcoins on YouTube. What? Oh, you want me to pay to promote my videos now? Promote your channel and business on YouTube. In addition to your regular channel promotions, get you videos in front of you. I've heard that stuff does not work. Worth a crap. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye.